Hello everyone. Today I'm going to share with you the use of making assumption, making supposition to tackle questions that can be done using guess and check. This is a very unique problem-solving heuristics strategy. This making assumption, making supposition is indeed a very effective way of solving word problems that can be solved initially by guess and check. Now, this is an exam smart strategy that I always adopt. Reading a question and annotating at the same time allow us to identify the concept used. When we annotate, we pick up keywords. The keywords will tell you what is the strategy, the heuristic used to solve that problem. After solving the word problem, we got the answer and we need to always check that our answer is correct. To check that our answers are correct, we are always asked to use a different concept, a different heuristic, a different way to solve the same problem. That is called evaluation. So after evaluating our answers using a different concept, and if we get the same answers using two different methods, of course, we are happy. But if we got the different answer, then we have to reread the question, re-annotate, and re-identify. So the cycle continues. Making assumption has unique features. I'm going to use this example of animals in a farm. So in the farm, there are two types of animals, four-legged and two-legged. And we know that the total number of animals is 9, and the total number of legs 28. And our main question is to find the number of counts. So you should find this familiar. Some of you are saying, maybe wondering, actually, we don't have to use making an assumption. We can use guess and check. Yes, guess and check can be done. You can be used to tackle such question by drawing a table consisting of 6 columns, right? Making guesses, and we check that our answers are meeting all the criteria. Now, what happens if the numbers are very huge? So I'm going to explain this to you in my YouTube video today. So this is the question that I'm referring to. What if the numbers are very, very huge? 281 animals in the farm and 816 legs in the farm. I think using guess and check by creating a table of 6 columns would be a super tedious process. You will be guessing and guessing and can be very frustrating if we can't arrive at our answer. Time consuming, frustrating, tedious. So to tackle such huge value kind of questions, right? No doubt we have a calculator. I think the most effective way, the more efficient and time-saving way is definitely making assumption, or commonly also known as making supposition. So I'm going to use this simple question to explain to you. I'm using small values so that I can illustrate, I can draw diagrams. Okay, now let me begin. This time we have a total of 9 animals in the farm, and there are a total of 28 legs. So if there are 9 animals in the farm, right, I'm going to use circles to represent the animals. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counts. Okay, I'm going to use crosses to represent their legs. So 4-legged. Okay, I am almost done with the counts. So I've completed the legs of the 5 counts. Okay, and we all know that we have 4 chickens, right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, draw in the legs. So if you count all the crosses, right, there should be a total of 28 crosses, 28 legs. And there are 9 circles, 9 animals. 5 are counts and 4 are chickens. All right, if you use guess and check, you should know the answers are 5 counts, 4 chickens. Now, but today I'm going to convince you to use making assumption. So, from the title, you already know we are assuming things. So, when we make assumption, we are assuming all the animals in the count are just of one type. So, it's either 4-legged or 2-legged, not 2 types, just one type. Assuming, pretending, supposing. So, if we assume all the animals, the 9 animals are chickens. For my case, I'm going to do that way. So that means what happened? The cows will have to pretend that they are two-legged animals. So the cows are two-legged. So they are hiding 2 legs each. Okay, so I'm going to box it up. So I have already boxed up 10 crosses. I have boxed up 10 legs. That means the 5 cows in total are hiding 10 legs in total. The 5 cows are pretending to be chickens. So in this case, we have 9 chickens in the farm. Okay, so now to do guess and check, we have to write a very important statement. This starting statement is very important. All right, so we assume all the 9 animals are chickens. So that is assumption method. Right? If you use the title making supposition, then the first sentence will be supposed all 9 animals are chickens. Okay? All right. So after stating our strategy, assuming all animals are chickens, we can write equations ready. So first equation, the assumed total number of legs would be, since there are 9 animals in the farm and all are chickens, so 9 times 2, it will be 18. But we already know cannot be 18, right? Because in the question, there are 28 legs in total, not 18. All right? So let's write down the actual total number of legs in the farm, 28, not 18. It's actually 28. So we have 2 important statements, 2 important equations. I beg your pardon. So there are 2 important equations. Assume total number of legs and the actual total number of legs. Now, we already know that there's a disagreement, right? The total number of legs, there's a disagreement because of our assumption. So what we need to do now is we have to find what is the difference in them. So the difference in the total number of legs will be 28 minus 18, that is 10, which is clearly seen in our pictures, our diagram, because there are 10 hidden legs from the cows. So these 10 hidden legs, the difference total legs, 10, should come from the cows. So the 10 is a very important value because it helps us get closer to the final, the first question, part A, how many cows are there? So the 10 legs must be from the cows. Now, I think from now you know, right, that each cow hides 2 legs. So you already know that the answer should be 5 cows from here. So now, to do a systematic solution for making assumption, right, we need to write down this equation. Each difference. Now, each difference means the difference between 1 cow and 1 leg. The difference in legs between 1 cow and 1 chicken. So each difference in terms of legs. So 1 cow, 4-legged, 1 chicken, 2-legged. So the difference is 2. That means this one means 2 legs are hidden by 1 cow. So from here, I already know how many cows I have. So the number of cows will be, these 10 legs come from all the cows. And the 2 legs, 1 cow. So we know that there are 5 cows in total. And the 5 cows are responsible for pretending, assuming, supposing to be chickens. Okay, so once we know that the cows, there are 5 of them, we can use the subtraction method, 9 minus 5 equals to 4, to find the chickens. So that's how making assumption is all about. is a very simple heuristic that only requires very standard equations. Very standard. The equation is very standard. Remember, let me go through again. We always start off with an assumption statement. Assume all the animals are chickens in this case, followed by the first equation, assume total, and we state the given actual total from the question. From the two totals, we can find the difference in total. We can also state each difference, the total difference and each difference. Each difference comes from the two quantities. Okay, now take the two differences, divide each other, and we got our answer. Now, this is only possible if we see carefully that if our question is asking us to find the counts, all right, then our assumption must be the opposite. It has to be the opposite. Then we get this answer. That means when we do our division, that will be our answer immediately. Okay, so when we make assumption, our first statement, the assumption statement, has to be the opposite of what we are supposed to find. Okay, right. Let me explain to you further, clearer, using another question. Okay. Now, we have 15 cows and animals in a farm. Okay, so I'm going to do assumption method. Okay, so statement, assumption statement, assume all 15 animals are, okay, are what? They ask us to find counts. So we assume the opposite. Remember? We have to assume the opposites because we want to, when we assume the opposite, we can catch the counts which are pretending to be chickens. Okay, so assume all 15 animals are chickens. Then after this, right, we always have the assume total because we already made our first important statement, assumption. So our assume total number of legs, they are all pretending to be chickens, right? So 15 times 2, that gives us 30 legs, which is not true because there are 42 here. So we already know our actual total legs. So our actual total legs, this can be derived from the question. No need to solve, just copy down. Okay, so once we have this part, we take these two to find the difference. So we have to find the difference in the total of the legs. That will be 42 minus 30. Now, 42 minus 30 give us 12. What is 12 to you? 12 will be the hidden legs. What are the legs hidden by the counts? How many? 12 of them. Okay, so from here, we will know the difference between each type of animal. So each difference, each difference, right? A cow, 4-legged, and minus one chicken, 2-legged. So from here we know that one cow is pretending to be a chicken and the cow is hiding 2 legs. And there are 12 hidden legs. And the 12 hidden legs must be from all the cows. And one cow is hiding 2 legs. From here we already know the number of cows. 12 divided by 2 gives us 6. So 6 is our answer. Okay, remember to do a check. If a cow has 6 legs, okay, this is check. Okay, check is a very important strategy. Very important process. In order to be a successful math student, we must check. So if a cow has 6 legs, sorry, if there are 6 cows and each cow has 4 legs, so 6 times 4, 24. All right, so this one belongs to the cow, right? Okay, I'm going to box it up. Belongs to the cows. Then the one that belongs to the chickens, if there are 6 counts, that means there must be how many? Yes, 9 chickens, because 15 minus 6 is 9. Okay, so 9 chicken 2-legged, that will be 18, right? So is the total correct? 24 plus 18 is, yeah, 42. So it's check, correct. Okay, so making assumption is actually not difficult. So this question number 1, in this particular slide, I have already shown you by assuming all accounts, all the counts are chickens, right? So I've actually stated my statement, assumption statement, to be the opposite of the question. That means we assume all are chickens, opposite from the question. All right. Now, what if you assume all are counts? That means we did not assume the opposite. Okay, so let me do it. So assume statement, assume all 15 animals are counts. Let's say Joseph, me, I've forgotten. I never assume the opposite, right? So I assume all are counts, not the opposite. It's okay. It's okay. So what happened is we have to do something special later, you see. So same style. Assume total legs will be 15 times 4. That gives us 60. Then we already know our actual total legs can be retrieved from the question, right? That will be 42. That here. All right. So now next, we have to find the difference in the total. So the difference in the total will be 60 minus 42, bigger number minus a smaller number, right? That gives us 18. And these 18 are the hidden legs, or the excess legs, or the legs that which are not taken into consideration. Then we have the difference between each type of animal, 4-legged, 2-legged, 2, right? Now, after this, what happened? Since this is counts, my next equation will be about chickens. So 18 divided by 2 equals to 9. So just now, we already know that there are 9 chickens, right, in our previous slide. So to find the number of counts, very simple. 15 animals minus 9 chickens, that give us 6 counts. So found. See? Back to the same way of solving. Alright? So if you have forgotten to assume the opposite, it's okay. You just need to do an extra step, an extra equation. Okay, let's try this. You can pause my video and you can do this on your own. Then you can play my video to check that your answers are correct. Okay? Okay, I'm going to start. Assume. I'll be a bit faster now because all of you should be expert already. Assuming all 32 animals are, okay, now I'm very careful, chickens. I'm very careful already, yeah? Okay, so what happened is, the assume total legs. Now, it's always very, very good practice to write down short statement. So 32 are chickens, 2-legged, so that will be my 64. Then we already know in our question, the actual total legs given to us is 92. So from here, once we know the two totals, we can find the difference between them. The difference between the two totals. So now it's 92 minus 64, right? That will give us 28. So the 28 must be the hidden legs. Okay, so from here, remember we need to obtain two differences. So the difference in total found already, right? Then the difference in each. That means one 4-legged, the legs, minus one 2-legged, the legs. The difference is 2. Now, once we obtain the two differences, we have our final equation. That will be our counts. Let these two divide. Done. Remember to do a check, okay? Okay. All right. Now, let's go to our main question. Our main question, okay? This is our main question. All right. In our main question, we have very big value. 284 cows and chickens. That means there are 284 animals in the farm. And we know that there are 816 legs. Scary, right? But don't worry. As long as you don't use guess and check, it will be a very easy question. Let's use assumption. Now, we have to assume, remember, assume what? The opposites. Okay, let's assume the opposite. Okay, so assume. Oh, you can try this first. You can pause my video. Try this on your own. Okay, using making assumption. After that, once you've obtained your answer, play back my video. Okay, just play on. So assume all 284 animals, they are all the opposite, the chickens. Okay, chickens, opposite. All right. Okay, so scary number now. So our assumed total. Remember, making assumption has standard way of writing equations. So assume total legs will be 284, and we pretend all are chickens, right? So 284 times 2, using your calculator, 568. Oh my goodness, big number. Okay, next, equation number 2, the actual total legs provided in the question, 816. All of you, can you remember the steps? The next equation is difference in their total. Okay, I'm going to use diff shortcut. Difference in their total, 816 minus 568. Oh, scary, right? The numbers. So let's minus carefully using our calculator again. The difference is 248. Right, now if you can remember, after finding the total difference in legs, we have to find the each difference, okay, or difference each, no diff. 4-legged minus 2-legged. Oh, our answer is coming out. Now I can find my counts. Take these two and divide. 248 divided by 2, that gives us 124. Done. Remember, do a check. Do a check. Okay? All right. Do you have the same answer as me? Okay. Thank you for listening to my making assumption, making supposition video, the detailed explanation. Feel free to replay my video from the front when you try to clarify, try to enhance, try to reinforce your understanding. I will be sharing with you part 2 and part 3 of making assumption in my coming videos. Now, if you like my today's detailed explanation on the use of making assumption, give me a thumbs up, a like, and remember to share with friends who are taking primary school math, okay, especially those in PSLE 2023, all right, in the years to come. And yes, most important, subscribe. Then you will know my new videos being uploaded. Yes, right, it's always very good to get notified by the new videos. This is Joseph. I thank you for your wonderful support. I hope my today's explanation helps you to be very convinced in the use of making assumption in replacing the guess and check. Okay? Alright, stay tuned for my part 2 and part 3 videos. Remember to subscribe, remember to like, remember to share. Till then, goodbye and you stay safe.